will coordinate with other relevant ministries whose issues have been brought to the fore, and then report back within. It was a wide petition.
Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members of Parliament, the statement I'm making to this August House is about the commemoration of the International Youth Day, which is celebrated annually on the 12th of August. Background, colleagues, you may recall the International Youth Day has its origin in the first ever World Conference of Ministers responsible for youth that took place in Lisbon, Portugal, between the 8th and 12th of August 1998. Convinced by the numerical strength of the youth globally and their inherent capacity to play a pivotal role in the socio-economic and political transformation of society, the ministers recommend that the 12th August every year be designated by the UN system as International Youth Day. In 1991, in its resolution 54-120, the UN General Assembly endorsed and recommendation made by the World Conference of Ministers responsible for the youth. The Assembly further recommended that the information or activities be organized to commemorate the day as a way to promote awareness of the World Programme of Action for the Youth. The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, in collaboration with other line ministries, departments and agencies, development partners, civil society groups, civil society organizations, coordinate the activities to mark the International Youth Day. As this statement details the key aspects of national celebration for the current year 2024. The purpose of the statement, therefore, is to inform Parliament that Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate the International Youth Day on Monday, 12th August 2024. To inform Parliament that the theme of this year's celebration is skills development for enhancement of opportunities for youth. Aware that we must put a lot of emphasis on skilling of youth within the 21st century, hard and soft copy and digital skills, among others. I'm here also to inform Parliament that Sorot District will host the celebration at Sorot Koa PTC, Sorot District. Inform Parliament that all local government and cities have been informed and guided to observe the International Youth Day in accordance with national guidelines for commemoration of national days. I'm here also to inform Parliament that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will preside over the celebration. And I'm here to invite you, members of Parliament, to participate in the national celebration. The young people are also able to state what they have done for themselves and commit to continue doing for their personal development as a contribution to sustainable national socio-economic and political transformation. Key achievement since last year's celebration on 12th August 2023 in Kabale, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has, among others, operationalized the National Coordination Mechanism for Youth Programs that provides quarterly meetings with the partners to facilitate joint planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of youth interventions. 2, supervise wealth creation and youth empowerment programs, including the Youth Livelihood Program, started in financial year 2023-2014 with an approved budget of approximately 347 billion 672 million, out of which 241 billion 45 million was released by financial year 2023-2024. Uganda shilling 185 billion 306 million of this disbursed to a total of 23,315 projects, benefiting approximately 265,237 young people, and 143,53 of these male, and 265,237 female. Cumulatively, Uganda shilling 40 billion 520 million has been recovered. Women Entrepreneurship Program, that is the other one, B, WEP, started in financial 2024-2025 within a total disbursement of 134 billion 215 million to 20,556 projects that have been benefited that have benefited over 225,641 women, cumulative recovered of 35,667 million. Youth Venture Capital Fund started in financial year 2011 and 2012 with a capital investment of 25 billion. Government of Uganda contributed 12 billion and 12 billion from the initial 3 commercial bank. Total
Please,
Youth Venture Capital
the
Fund.
minister is about to finish reading this.
Youth
It's
Venture
a maiden
Capital Fund
statement.
started in financial
It's a
year.
maiden statement.
Youth Venture Capital Fund started in financial year 2011-2012 with a capital investment of 25 billion. Government of Uganda contributed 12.5 billion and 12.5 billion from initial 3 commercial bank. Total cumulative disbursement by May 2024 was 195 billion 746 million 335,421 to 56,252 beneficiaries, of whom 36.6 are female youth. Number 3, implemented the National Apprenticeship Scheme, where 90 youth apprenticeships have been skilled under the pilot scheme and graduated in tourism, hospitality. 200 more are due for graduation in November 2024. 750 youth have been recruited to undergo training. Trained 3,982 youth from different districts of the country in digital literacy. Under digitalization of Juakali, Enterprises for Job and Productive Growth, DIG track project, in collaboration with Huawei Telecom Company.
Procedure, Honorable Seungu.
With a lot of respect for the Minister Youth, I love what he's reading. But, Mr. Speaker, normally when we are getting a statement for such a function, it should not involve all these details because he has a committee where he addresses these matters. And here we are going to debate a statement where he's quoting a number of figures with an attachment of facts related to the figures he's giving. Wouldn't it be procedure okay, Mr. Speaker, that we allow the new minister, he tables whatever he's stating, but again, the statement we get from him comes out in relationship to the function of the day for the youth, other than detailing figures that we cannot internalize and comprehend now. That's Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
No, please. No, we don't work that way. I don't allow through silence. Yes. I mentioned your name. And I didn't even make any sign to you. But what did you want to add on?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Now I've made a sign.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think the Minister, what I wanted to add, these proper information for this House. If he's highlighting the successes and the achievements of those programs, he should come formally to this House, present them, then we debate them. Let us now concentrate on the organization of the day. And because it is an international day, it comes from International Day, they never focused on these programs as he's bringing them out. So let us focus on the themes, the international themes, let us focus on the national themes, and we see how our young people can benefit into that. Thank you.
Yeah, what not give a structure of the statement the minister should make. This is a statement which the minister feels he should bring here. I remember last time, Honorable colleagues, I can't remember exactly which day we are going to celebrate, but they had in how tents will be arranged, who will do the parade. The parade, we shall have this group on a parade. After this group, this one will put on this color, this one will hoist the flag. And we said no. This can't be a statement. Maybe it's a running curve. Honorable ministers, take note. Next statement, you should focus on the theme. Okay? Yeah. But so far, so good. You're doing very well, Honorable Minister. We are complaining that you've given us so much information.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank Honorable Seung for raising what he has raised, but it is on that ground that I want to give you a background. When we go for celebration, we should not celebrate food and the soda. We need to celebrate achievements made from the previous celebration to date. That is the reason why I'm reading for you what I'm reading. And I would also expect you to confirm whether what I've said is true, whether it is happening. Thank you very much. Then the Youth Venture Capital Fund started in financial year 2011-2012 with a capital investment of 25 billion.
Point of order.
Mr. Speaker, maybe the new minister needed to have been told how things are done here. You have guided that the minister may be in the future. The points he's raising in the statement are actually matters of policy that come here through policy statements. You actually finished them. And he doesn't have to repeat them because we have them in our books. So the point of order, Mr. Speaker, is whether the minister is in order to defy your guidance, since you have guided him to concentrate on theme and not matters of policy that come here through policy statements, and this parliament has engaged with those issues, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I think the minister has just joined the parliament. He doesn't know that these things came here. So he might be thinking he's giving you new information. And he might explain it differently. So let's give him a chance. But I think they've taken note next time. But Honourable Minister, conclude.
Right Honourable Speaker, I've taken note of your guidance. I'm almost concluding. Implemented the national, trained 3,982 youth from different districts of the country in digital literacy, skills under digitalization, Juakali enterprises for job productivity. Provided business toolkits and equipment since 2017 to 17,015 groups of young people to support their enterprises, out of which 7,167 are male, 9,174 are female, under the supporting the Juakali enterprises for transition to formal economy program. Commenced the implementation of the United Nations Joint Adolescent Youth Program, funded to a tune of $22 million by 13 UN agencies in collaboration with the ministries responsible for gender, labor and social development, health, education and sports, overall coordination by the UN. Agencies finalized comprehensive consultation on the life skills and health education for out-of-school adolescents and youth, and also initiated the development of national strategy for skills development and for out-of-school vulnerable youth. Developed and designed a national action plan on youth and peace and security. Contributed to the review of national employment policy, development of national employment strategy to corporate strategies and intervention of youth employment. Also participated in the development of National Development Plan, NDP4, to ensure inclusive development that leverage the demographic dividends from our country's youth population. In conclusion, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable colleagues, I wish to conclude by reminding you that Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate the International Youth Day on Monday, 12th August at Sorot Koa PTC, Sorot District, under the theme Skills Development for Enhancement of Opportunities for the Youth. Further to that, His Excellency the President.
Honourable Minister, is a procedure matter.
Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to, this was not intended to interrupt the Minister because, Mr. Speaker, the Minister has been so generous to give us a lot of information about so many things. But as a way of procedure, Mr. Speaker, I recall that on his maiden speech in this House, the Minister undertook before this House to make sure that the youth who had been arrested and held for a long time would be released. He even went ahead to demand that a list be given to him. Mr. Speaker, now that the minister has volunteered a lot of information, wouldn't it even have been procedural okay for him to tell us before he concludes
Thank you.
where he has reached so far? Because he undertook before this House that you will see that as we commemorate the International Youth Day, how far has he gone on the issue of the release of the youth that he undertook to secure?
Thank you. Now, colleagues, sometimes you make it really difficult for your presiding officer. Yeah, because this is a very good submission which could have come during the debate. I'm going to allow a debate. I'm going to allow a limited debate as provided for under Rule 52. That's number one. But number two, he has not yet concluded. So I don't know what he has in his conclusion. Maybe Honorable Numbers is cheating for your exams. In the conclusion, this is a critical issue. You can update. Debate, Honorable Nansa Chola, Honorable Mushemeza, Honorable Namuga.
I want to thank also the country that we are going to commemorate the Youth Day, the International Youth Day on the 12th in Soroti. I want to thank sincerely the President of the Republic of Uganda for initiating the skilling of the youth in all the sub-region of this country. But also, in light of that, I want to implore through the Minister that it shouldn't only be the skilling that is being done. They should enhance with a few things that after the training of the 6 months when the youth are going home, people who have done tailoring should be given the sewing machines, because we've realized that most of these youth, after finishing, they go home empty-handed. I know the Minister for Gender might tell us that there are sewing machines in their ministry, but the procedure of getting those things are not very easy. And it is not enough for all those that have already acquired the skilling at the industrial hub. So, Honorable Minister, please take note of that. Then finally, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, we've seen youth livelihood programs in this country. But in some districts, including where I come from, Lamuo, the money that has been always taken to the youth, it is always being eaten by the technical staff at the district. And most of these technical officers who are the youth focal persons, they don't even want to let the youth know how much the district has received as youth livelihood programs. And I want to implore our youth, the Minister for Youth, that they need to start fast-tracking how much the youth are always getting. Because several times, some of these monies that goes to the district, people embezzle them.
Been observing how you've demanded for particularly this statement, and also your continuous involvement in youth-related events, including the Youth Parliament and the Children's Parliament. And this is a testament, Right Honourable Speaker, that you have not forgotten your OBs and OGs, who are the youth. Secondly, I want to thank the Honourable Minister. For 3 years, we have not had the International Youth Day celebrated on its internationally gazetted day. But for the first time in 3 years, we finally had that. I want to thank the Minister for prioritizing the youth in the government calendar. Thirdly, following this statement, I have two concerns. Right Honourable Speaker, we have a number of events celebrated by government. And these events are usually one-day events with very minimal impact. Right Honorable Speaker, how can we ensure that these events have a lasting and significant impact on our people and not just celebrations? The Honorable Minister just said so does. Secondly, a majority of leaders in this House, Right Honorable Speaker, are products of youth leadership. A majority of these members are former National Youth Council leaders, youth leaders within political parties, or even youth leaders in UNSA. There is a challenge. We have an elaborate structures of youth throughout the country, but these structures are mostly non-functional and weak. How can we as this House ensure that these structures are functional and meaningfully impact on the lives of the many youth that we represent? Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, given that this country is largely youth-centric, and the Minister has also provided a lot of facts on programs of youth, I want to move that we gazette a specific session of this House this month, which is a youth month, and we have a very structured debate on the status of the youth and also youth programs in this country, so that we make appropriate recommendations for action. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Namuga.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, she's, just look at her, she's bureaucratic. Honorable Namuga.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to appreciate the Honorable Minister for his submission, and also to appreciate the contribution of government towards skilling the youth in this country. Right Honorable Speaker, I have a comment about the Youth Livelihood Program that has now lasted for some 10 years and above. Right Honorable Speaker, this is a revolving fund. However, some amount close to 43 billion has not been revolved. So the Ministry of Gender must ensure that this money is revolved. This is according to the Auditor General's report, that the money was recovered, but it wasn't revolved. That should be noted too. Right Honorable Speaker, we should listen to the plight of the youth that had its strike on issues of corruption. Right Honorable Speaker, many of these youth are in prison on charges of becoming a public nuisance. How I wish on this Youth Day celebrations, Honorable Minister, you listen to the plight of the youth to be released unconditionally. And also have many youth in prisons for political reasons. 4 years, 5 years, they've not appeared before courts of law. So if we are to look at a government that cares for the youth, really look into ensuring that these youth get justice. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, we all know that we've just concluded the census, the population census, and it's clear that Uganda is among the countries with a very youthful population, but very unemployed. The youth have been made unproductive. So, Honorable Minister, can we think about the youth that are very skilled but very redundant in homes of their parents? Kindly think about them so that this country can serve us as a whole nation unselectively. Last, Right Honorable Speaker, Zimbabwe as a district has been left out on issues of skilling centers, and we are among the most populated districts. So think about Zimbabwe as a district. We only have one vocational school. It is Rutunku Vocational School that is in Maogola North, far away from the most populated constituents of Maogola County. So, Honorable Minister for the Youth, think about, and even Maogola West of the Honorable Nifa, but Maogola County of Honorable Namuga is more vulnerable. So, think about, Honorable Minister, of how you can cater for Zimbabwe in a unique way. It's not being selfish, but Zimbabwe is very vulnerable in many areas. Thank you, Right Honorable Minister. Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Frank.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Honorable Minister was read to us the statement. We do appreciate, but I also wanted to make a comment about the list of the success or the achievement that has been listed in the statement. The Minister speaks about the YLP program, which he quotes as one of the successful programs Ministry of Gender has implemented. But on the Gender Committee where we sit, this program was cut short of funding because it was non-performing. The funds that were given out to go and help the youth were all embezzled
and some of the ghost groups that were created failed to pay back the fund. That's why on the recovery, you'll find that YLP is performing very poorly and UWEP was performing way better. So I think for a program that has been listed by government and cut short of funding because of non-performing, we can't list it under the successful programs that we've given out to the youth. Also, back to the theme, Right Honorable Speaker, we are speaking about giving skills to the young people. Yes, that brings back to the mind of government that we identify and recognize many young people are short cut of the opportunities because they lack the skills. How I wish the minister could prioritize the theme by putting it in action, not just speaking. It is a shame that today we are celebrating and giving such a theme, but recently many medical interns are in cells, many have been arrested because they are fighting for opportunities for the skills they learned in the different institutions of higher learning. It is a shame that we, the leaders, who should give these young people an opportunity to listen to them when they come out to speak about corruption. It is not about only corruption in parliament. They speak about corruption everywhere. Many funds have been listed that they have been given to us, the young people. But when you go to our districts, none of us can identify a project that is running well from the 284 billion that is claimed to have been dispersed in the Youth Livelihood Program. So I think we should give them a voice, listen to them, and also welcome their ideas. Sometimes they're advising us not to fall into the deeper pit, but by blocking them, you are giving them maybe an alternative to.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister Youth, there is a clarification I would want you to make, bearing in mind that the National Planning Authority commissioned a demographics report, and it puts the youth age at a dependence ratio highest ever, even with the skilling, even with the achievements that you have just taken us through, even with the digitalization. It is beyond even 100, it is 103%. See how abnormal it is. And we're trying to look at how to harness the demographic dividend of the youth. And this is between 2022-2024. And I expected you to let us know how the programs have not helped to lower the mass unemployment of the youth. They are at a staggering 78%, of course. Uganda has the youngest population. But the challenge we grapple with, and you grapple with as a government, is that of mass unemployment. And it has seen many of these youth, particularly those that are churned out by our universities and other tertiary institutions, that are skilled, leaving this country through trafficking, through unlicensed companies, to work in the Middle East and other places where they have even been subjected to modern-day slavery. In fact, my colleague, the Honorable Masawa, was accurate to have talked of slavery. The modern-day slavery is this one where your labor is exploited. Most of the investors, by the way, one of the factors, Mr. Speaker, why some investors would love to come to Uganda is because Uganda has the cheapest labor to offer. Uganda has the best young population whose labor is exploitable, Mr. Speaker. And that's not something to aggrandize yourself about. It is something to frown about. But from the submission, I see your statement is awash with the achievements, which achievements are theoretical, on ground. Yeah, the truth of the matter is that even this youth, the Chuakali, who are skilled, majority of them, I think I concur with the member, female member that the distinguished member of Lamu, that most of the youth are back home, almost 3/4 of those that are being skilled. So don't you think it is high time you revised this policy of skilling Uganda? But Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. Recently, I went through the public debt. Are you aware that if you add, it is at 84 trillion, but if you add commitment fees and interest, it is at 97 trillion. And I calculated, I realized the burden will shift from us to the younger people. They will be the ones who will pay that debt. So I was pondering over it and said, if you were to design a very good theme for Monday, next Monday, 12th, it should have been, blessed are the youth of Uganda because they will inherit the public debt. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honourable Minister. Every question, Honourable Minister. You have 5 minutes.
I'll merge some. Honourable Bachireke Betty Nambozi raised the issue of the National Unity Platform Young People. I want to inform you that we shall issue a statement on Monday in Soroti. I had a discussion with the President just yesterday. I reminded him of his kindness. He had allowed to stand surety. He had allowed to stand surety for those young people. Most of those young people were given bail, but they were denied the bail due to the conditions that were put in place. Just hold on. So the President has once again pledged that he's going to act on that. Let it be on record of Parliament. Those young people will get freedom soon. Number 2, Honorable Patrick Oshabe. Honorable Patrick Oshabe.
Colleagues, there is a statement that has a theme. There is a day
raised the issue of having only Nakavango, where 16 youth were selected from every district. So far, government has started with 18 skilling centers countrywide in every sub-region. But out of those 18, they allocate every district. Like in Central here in Buganda, you have one in Kayunga, but the capacity to hold so many is not there. And the budget, that was a presidential initiative, the budget hasn't been expanded for the same. Then Honorable Okot Boniface, thanked the President and government for celebrating the International Youth Day the right day. I want to thank the President as well for allowing this happen. I thank you for your kind attention for God and my country. I remain Barugahara Balaam, the Minister of Majority.
No.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Minister, Parliament is a house of record. We don't have a Minister of Majority. Please clarify if you have.
I remain Barugahara Balaam, the Minister of Youth for Children and Youth Affairs.
The Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs.
Thank you very much for the question, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.